And 3, 2, we are live, episode 11. No One Told Me Hockey Podcast. Jack, how are we doing today?
We're good. We just got done with a bike battle. So I'm feeling good. The legs are a little jelloed out, but overall, we're having a good day. Was down with a little sickness yesterday and today. If one of the podcast listeners could let me know if you can get sick from running, like
Exhausting.
Is it exhaustion?
It must be
Is that a thing?
dehydration. It could be dehydration.
I was, because you said that, and I was chugging water.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised though, like how much water you're supposed to drink per day.
That's true.
And then you're running on top of that.
Yeah, so I went down with a little sickness after I got done running for a day. So now I'm back though, got my bike in. So I'm feeling a little bit better now. How about yourself?
Let's go. I have a question about the bike before I go here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it stationary or were you actually moving for 50 minutes?
I was on a stationary bike today.
Okay.
I did it indoor just because, so I went outdoor last week, and I want to be able, when I'm doing trainings like this, I want to be able to, focus on, times and, I don't know, how hard it is, not necessarily, where the hell I'm going. Because last week I was out there, and, I didn't really know where I was going, so I was, more concerned on that than actually getting, a certain pace in and stuff. So
the only thing I'm worried about with this is, what about the wind factor? Could we get a fan in your face on the stationary bike?
I'm not too worried about the wind, but
okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, I know what you're saying. I understand. What I'm more worried about is the bike navigation, being comfortable on the bike, maneuvering, switching gears. That's what I'm more worried about than.
Wait, here's another worry I'm gonna lay into you right here.
All right.
Ready?
Your worries. Worry about weird shit. So
these people bike really close to each other.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking inches. How are we preparing for this?
Well, I'm hoping by that time, by the time I get on my bike, everyone's a little bit spread out because I will have already done a run or a swim. But what I'm worried about off the start of the swim, dude, we're all gonna be there.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be catching a heel to the mouth, or
Netflix did a documentary on the CrossFit Games a while back, and it's one of the events started with a swim, and they were saying afterward people were coming out with broken bones because the first 50 seconds of that race is just everybody on top of each other.
Well, especially in something like that where they're competing, that's their job and they're competing for a title. Like this, I'm just looking to get through it. I'm not trying to scratch and claw I'm not scratching and clawing with fucking Jerry.
I was about to say you're doing this for yourself, enjoyment, not for a title.
Yeah, I'm not taking Tom, the 50-year-old next to me, and gonna give him a little head shove when I go by him.
maybe no, piss
maybe
you
I'm
off.
just juiced. Yeah, maybe he pisses me off before the triathlon. I give him a quick elbow in the water, put him down.
Yeah, maybe
quick kidney shot.
Do you wear a bib in the water? Yeah, you must, right, for your number.
I think so, or it's either that or they give you a swim cap with your number on it. But I don't know how that works for the water event. Dude, what I'm worried about too, what if I'm in a pack of 20 people and I just go down? They're not finding
No
me.
one would know.
Maybe
I'll go to support you and then just have a lookout.
You trail me. You get a little canoe. You get a canoe. You're trailing. Your trailer.
I'll be your trainer first in the canoe, just yelling at you.
True.
And then I'll trail you in the race.
A week before, we'll get a couple training sessions in.
Like Rocky and I actually just watched yesterday the Creed 1 movie because Creed 3 is coming out.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I love those.
Great movie.
Michael B. Jordan's a beast too, dude.
Yeah, it was good. It was a sick movie.
Yeah, I do want to see the third one. Have you seen the second one?
No, I have to watch the second one.
Oh, that one's good too. Yeah, those are good movies. I wanted to ask you about this. So whatever happened with your men's league? Did you win?
We got postponed till Tuesday because of the snowstorm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a best of 3, right? So we're kind of going on a month of this championship.
Yeah.
I have been in the final series for a month.
Holy shit.
So we played
was it once a week and then it got postponed? So now it's going
once
on
a week. Once a week and a postponed. So I'm gonna look back 20 years from now. The year 2023, month of February, March was a championship month for me.
Dude, they fit in a round of the Stanley Cup playoffs faster than you guys can
Yes,
finish
faster than we can do
a
the men's
men's
league.
league.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. We're going into the finals on Sunday, and
let's
it's a
go.
2-game elimination. So
Oh,
and
so good.
we're in the winners bracket too, so we haven't lost. So if we have to only beat them once, they have to beat us twice. And this team has knocked off. So we beat the 1 seed, and then we beat the 2 seed. And this team in the losers bracket beat the 1 seed and the 2 seed. They knocked off both both of the top teams
So they're
after us.
hot.
Yeah,
They're
they're
hot.
hot, but so are
You
we.
don't want to run
So,
into a hot men's league
but you
team.
could argue. So are we though, because we beat the number 1 and 2 seed as well in the winners bracket.
So this is going to be a clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah, and the last 2 games, like not against this team, but the other 1 and 2 teams, battles, dude. Absolute battles out there.
I didn't
Like
want. Okay, I didn't really.
we were going not like battles in terms of like, well, some guys were throwing some shots and stuff. Yeah, I guess they were battles for men's league. Yeah.
I didn't want to get into men's league talk too much, but this
Yeah.
is kind of funny. The last game that we played against this team, so we were down 1-0. If we lost this game, we would have been done.
Yeah.
Right. So we showed up with music. Like our room was gone. We won the game. We won the game before we even started.
Yeah.
And partly because of the fact that we had a player show up. He's a great dude. Such a great dude. He graduated from UMass Lowell last year. And he's only played a couple games this
He's one
season.
of those guys who shows up.
But but the other team did it like the last game. So these guys showed up with like 6 guys this week. We showed up with a full roster, a new player. He put up like 4 points. There was no chance we were losing that game.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a climactic game 3 coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, I wish I could. Are they streaming it?
It's on Live Barn. It is on
No,
Live
it's
Barn.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is it Live Barn
Yeah,
free? Can I watch it for free?
I don't know. I'll
Do
give
you
you
have a
somebody's
login?
password.
Oh,
Somebody has one. Yeah.
yes, dude. I want to watch it.
It's ridiculous. The other team, like, I don't know. I'm not very controversial, but some guys do get controversial.
I'm not gonna
out there.
lie. This past week, this one guy, man, this team is like the team who tries really. They had a play called Puerto Rico. We were in the offensive zone, and the guy goes Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. I'm like, oh no. So then I turned it up from there. But I gave this one guy a good whack right in the wrist. I gave him one.
Nice.
I was back checking, just gave him like a hook around, popped him right in the wrist.
I had a bruise. I have a bruise after, I guess it's now 2 weeks ago. I had a bruise on my arm. Somebody gave me a nice little whack because I was cut across the middle. Yeah.
Hey, you need it every once in a while.
You do. It does wake you up.
It does
wake you up.
It does. Okay, so I want to get into this really quick. So even though we just talked about swimming with the triathlon, I want to bring it back up. So I've been swimming at the local gym that I go to, and they have 3 lanes, right? How do you feel about someone asking to share a lane with you? And some people aren't even swimming. They're like doing like a little doggy paddle back and forth. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it depends. You're training for something, so like maybe not your lane, but
yeah. But how do they know I'm training for something? Do I have a sign?
Well,
that
maybe you
says
gotta
I'm
tell them.
training?
You gotta
I'm training.
gotta tell them. You gotta tell them, hey, I'm training. I mean, I don't know. If it was me, I would be like, yeah, hop in here. Like we're going down and back. But I also don't like getting my head under the water, so
yeah,
it's gonna cause an issue.
It makes me a little uncomfortable. I've had twice this week. I've had to share with someone, and it's made.
Are you going head on? Or are they behind you? What's the situation?
Well, like I mean, it depends on how fast we're swimming. Like we're crossing at some points too.
I think that's dangerous.
Well, yeah, you got to stay on your half of the lane, which is tight. It's tight to stay on your one half of the lane. I was sharing it too this one with 2 big women, and they were doing like little doggy.
Can you say that? Can you say that on the podcast?
I'm not politically.
We support everything.
Yeah, everything, but the matter of the fact is they were bigger women, and like I was afraid I was gonna run into one of them for sure. But
yeah, well, all right, well, keep your head up. Make sure you're not running into anything. Then I'm gonna be there with them. I'm gonna have to come with the canoe to your practices.
I know. You demand. You walk. Pool. Hey, you're on the side. You're walking side to side with me as I go.
Stroke. It's gonna be me.
Oh shit. Okay. What else you got? What else?
All right. Oh, this is a good one. So we just started the podcast probably about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Jack was coming back from his training session. I was watching my childhood favorite team, the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
I turned on the game at 7:21. The game started at 7 o'clock. What do you think the score was at 7:21
Well,
when I turned it on?
7:21 left in the first period, or like it was
No. It's
7:21
the
p.m.
puck drops. The puck drops usually about like 7:11
Yeah,
p.m.
yeah.
So it's only been 10 minutes with like the national like it's not very long into the game. And I'll tell you
Mm.
where it was in the game when I turned it on. But what do you expect the score to be? Turn it on the
Oh,
first period.
I mean, I expect the score to be like 1-1 or 1-1 or 0-0, but
Yeah, yeah.
from the way you're answering,
The score?
I feel like it was 3-2.
The score was 4-3.
Oh,
Panthers with 11 minutes left in the first. So, okay, so
oh,
what do
they
I do?
scored
I
seven.
look. Wait,
Oh,
it gets better.
oh
It gets
my
better.
God!
It
Wow.
gets better. Just buckle up for this.
All
So I
right.
look at the shots. The Canadians have 3 shots, so they have 3 shots on. They have 3 goals on 3 shots.
Wow.
All right. The Panthers have 8 shots, so they have 4 shots, 4 goals
Yeah.
on 8 shots.
Good save percentages by the goalies.
Both of them really elite. They pull the Canadians goalie. They put another guy in. The score at the end of the period, it was. I just turned it off because we're recording. 7-3 Panthers in one period. That ties that beats a 23-year-old franchise record for them, where they were 6 goals in a period. So 7 goals
Wow.
puts them at a franchise record.
What do you think the most goals scored in a single period is?
I know it
Of
because
course you
they were talking.
know
They
it.
were talking
Oh,
about
okay,
it. They were
okay. I
just
was
talking.
gonna fucking trivia
Most
guru over
goals,
here.
most combined goals
All right,
in
well,
a
let me
NHL
guess then.
period.
Let me guess
All
then.
right, you
If you
guess.
know,
Yeah,
wait. Oh, combined.
yeah,
Oh,
combined
oh,
goals.
oh,
Yeah,
oh. If it's combined, I'm gonna say 13.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to switch, or I'm going to give you the opportunity to hold at 13.
Oh, I don't know. Your face was either or. Your face was a
All right,
yes or no.
I'll make it easier. I'll make it easier on you.
Okay.
Hold at 13 or go down to 12.
Okay. That was gonna be my next guess. Actually, it was 12. I'm
But
gonna
is it the right
go
guess?
to 12. You are
You
correct.
are correct. You
Yeah,
are correct.
I
Yeah,
saw it in
12
your face
goals
where it was
back in
like
like the
you're really close, but
70s.
you're not. The
Back in like
70s?
the yeah, I think it was 70s, 80s. They said Panthers was record was 6 goals scored individually, but combined was 10 goals or combined was 12 goals. So
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it was crazy.
Goalies weren't ready to go.
And then right when the second period started, it was 7-4. So I'm curious. I'm not going to look at the score until
Oh
we
my
end
God.
recording.
It's gonna be like 20. It's gonna be like 15-8.
I mean, I could see this being like a 10-7 game or something like that.
What is the highest score? Not that we'll know like the exact answer, but do you know like what the highest scoring game that you've been in, like in juniors and college, like outside of like youth hockey? I
Uh,
Or how
God, youth
badly you've
hockey.
gotten beaten before or won before?
Yeah, in youth hockey, my Pee Wee Florida
I
Alliance
didn't. I
team.
said not youth hockey.
Oh,
That could.
well, I feel like this is important to
Well,
say.
no,
My Pee Wee
okay.
Florida Alliance team beat the Pittsburgh Mega Men 24-0.
I think you
Okay,
beat them strictly off the name alone. Mega Man.
yeah,
Mega
it's tough.
Man.
It was tough. Okay, all right.
Mega
Forgetting
Man.
youth hockey, I was in a couple 7 to like 7 goal games. My senior year, it was actually the weekend of an injury for me. We lost to Clarkson scored 10 goals on us, I think,
Okay.
or seven goals, maybe seven.
Well,
I don't know.
7 and 10's a big difference.
I think maybe I don't know. I'd have to look at that. Somewhere between 7 and 10. No, definitely not above 10.
Yeah, I think
Junior
mine.
is probably about the same.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten scored on 10 goals in juniors or college. 9. Adrian scored 9 on us in playoffs. We beat him game 1. Listen to this
Okay.
format too. Listen to this format. Tell me if this makes sense. So in our conference, we go the first round. It goes 3-game series, but asterisks on the 3 games. So you go 1 game, then you play your second game. Right? If it's split 1-1, you go into an extra period. So after that second game, yeah. How dumb is that?
What?
Makes no
This
sense. So
this is modern.
yes, dude, I've played in it now. I've lost 2 of the 3 years we made playoffs. I lost in the extra game twice.
That's
Extra
insane. But the extra
period is
game's
not okay.
wait. It's
Yeah, yeah.
another
Okay.
day. Is it
No,
another day?
no. So you finish the second game, you get off, they do the ice, you can change your roster, you can put in guys from who got scratched, you can change them, and then it's an extra period but it's not like first to score. It's just like a
Period.
just a period. And whatever the score, they reset the score, and whatever the score is at the end is who wins the
That's
series.
insane.
So
That
dumb.
is insane.
I've lost twice now in that extra period.
That's it. Well, I was funny you say that because I was talking to
So dumb.
my head coach here about like some of his like college experiences. Back in the day, this is like 80s, 90s college hockey. It was total goals in a 2-game set.
What?
So, say for example, you could lose to a team.
What? That makes
Yes,
no sense.
I swear to God, you could
We
lose
got
to
a
a team.
running total.
Yes, you could lose to a game. You could lose to a team 3-0, and then beat them 6-0, and you would move on.
That's the whole point of the series.
Or you could beat it. You could lose to a team 3-0, beat them 7-5, and you lose.
That is so. The whole thing of like, okay, yeah, you get your ass whooped one game. It's like, all right, let's reset, and we'll get,
Total goals.
you cannot get you can't get whipped in any game, or else you're screwed.
Total goals.
That is
I know, it's crazy.
so dumb. Yeah, so that sucks. I hate that. But I saw one game this year in college. Adrian beat Concordia 13-1 in playoffs. It was like the
13-1. That's not good.
the 1-4 seed. Yeah,
That's not good at all.
That's tough. Yeah.
That's not.
So you're not even going to acknowledge the haircut, especially the way it's looking right now. I mean, come on, you got to admit it looks like I just got out of the ocean.
Yeah, it looks like you brought a pig. Oh my! I don't even want to say. I'm not even going to comment. Okay, all right, let's get on to this. I'm watching I want to get onto this.
Okay.
I'm watching the Rangers. Who was it? Canadians game? No.
The other night.
The Disney. Yeah, the Disney thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Rangers versus who? It was Rangers versus. Oh, that's gonna bother me now. That's really gonna bother me.
Should we look?
I don't know. We'd have to look at it yesterday. I don't know. The Rangers.
Keep talking. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the Rangers played whoever it was, and simultaneously while the NHL broadcast was happening, it was also being broadcasted on Disney Channel in an animated version.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's really cool for kids, right? Like you never know that maybe they don't like watching sports, but now you have these little guys with big heads, like flying around the ice.
Yeah.
they got little guys with big heads flying around the ice.
It was Washington.
Washington. Yeah, that's right. It was Washington. And they have a stream of it simultaneously. They're kind of showing the goals. I thought it was really cool. More so, I thought the technology was really cool, how they were able to kind of simultaneously do that with the animation. What did you think about it? It was getting some hate online, but I thought it was kind of cool.
I thought I wish it would have been cool if when Kane scored and he had a celebration, if the little guys, the little cartoon guys, could have done the celebration. I think that would.
That's a low. This isn't Disney World. This isn't Frozen. This is NHL animation. Well, I guess it is.
Yeah, but it is Disney, so they should be able to be able to handle hand movements and stuff, right? So,
it's fair.
I think the NHL maybe. Well, you know what kind of makes me mad about ESPN in terms of the NHL is they still don't give them any coverage on their main channels, their main ESPN or their main ESPN2. They don't give them any coverage, but then they want to do this Disney stuff. It's let's put our energy elsewhere in promoting the game outside of Disney, and let's actually put it on some of your main broadcasted channels or cover it in your your morning segments. Let's actually do a better job of talking about it then, or even on their Instagrams. If you look at their Instagram, ESPN or SportsCenter, they don't post anything about the NHL unless it's something huge. So let's focus our energy on promoting the game on those things. I mean, the Disney thing is cool, but I think they need to focus it on other things. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. And speaking of streaming, I would like it set up as easy as the March Madness is in terms of somebody told me that today was March Madness. I turned on my TV. Somehow a big ad on my TV was click this to watch March Madness. I clicked it. I was watching the game. That's all I did. I clicked 2 buttons. Sometimes for the hockey, I'm putting in information. I'm putting in somehow my address. Next thing you know, the broadcast is in Spanish. I'm no, all I want to do is just watch the broadcast of the game, just like the March Madness.
Yeah, and one of the things really nice about the March Madness is I went on, not that they're going to do this for professional sports because they want to make their money. Can you hear that? My phone's
Yeah.
ringing. Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Who's
But
calling?
I don't know. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't
The
see.
bar- is it the,
Yeah.
is it the barber telling you he messed up? The brutal
No,
cut.
no, but so I went on NCAA today to watch the basketball, and I could watch it for free on there, which is great. Like I didn't have to put in any information or anything. I could literally just turn on any game that I wanted for free, no problem.
Yeah,
So
that's what we did too.
yeah, but that is definitely frustrating that like ESPN gave them a huge contract, and then they make it like exclusive or hard to watch games or like see
Yeah,
any highlights and stuff from the game, and that's why their viewers are down, I think, for the
yeah. You
year.
want to make it easy. At
Yeah.
least I think you got to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, yeah, and like it sucks like watching Sports Center and stuff where like all they do is they'll talk about the same NFL story 3 times in a segment, but then they
Yeah,
won't show like or 3 times in an hour, but then they won't show anything on the NHL.
yeah,
Or like if you get they ask Stephen A about it and he just hates on it. So how he doesn't know anything about hockey, blah 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 blah. So
yeah.
that part sucks. But I mean, I wonder how many kids actually watch that on Disney. I'd be interested to see the numbers on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Twitter was giving it a lot of hate and love, so I did see a lot of it.
Mm,
Like any commentary is good commentary, I guess, because like even people that
right.
were bashing it were posting videos of it.
Right.
But I don't know. You never know. Like football kind of did a similar thing, right? With that
The
Nickelodeon
slime.
like Splash Zone or SpongeBob was like commentating the game.
But the thing about that
So
is it
who
was
knows?
the real game. That was the real game. It wasn't animated.
Oh yeah, it wasn't animated.
They
That's
had
right.
like they would like put like if someone scored a
SpongeBob was there.
touchdown,
Are you telling me
SpongeBob was
SpongeBob
there. Yeah, he was there announcing. Patrick was
a
on the
bucket of
he,
slime?
Patrick was trying to figure out the numbers on the first down marker. So
I love it. I love
no,
it. Well, do you want to get into some real stuff?
yeah, sure,
Not.
okay.
Uh,
Not that that wasn't real.
yeah, I guess not that wasn't real.
Okay, so let's get into a little something right here. So I get this question. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me, Hockey Aid, Instagram, Facebook, all the same. Follow me. Um, I get this question a lot. I get a DM or like if I do a live stream, I get this question. So the question I have for you is, how do you deal with an injury, but also how do you deal with one when you like come back from it once you're recovered?
It's
If
a
that makes
really
sense. So
good
it's like two
question.
part, two part.
It's a really good question. I would say first, right, with an injury, there's going to come a lot of emotion. I think that, right, you're disappointed that you just got hurt. Maybe you're in pain, right? That's elevating everything too. I would immediately, right, let those emotions, like, they're going to come, right? They welcome them, right? Let them come for the couple weeks, right? Maybe a couple days, and then make a decision, right? Make a decision in terms of, okay, what's next, right? Am I going to do surgery? Am I not? Am I going to skate with a splint on? Am I not, right? What are the decisions that I'm going to make, right? Make those without the emotion. And
Hmm.
then I'd say, right, you are still a part of the team when you're injured, right? A lot of people will be injured and then they'll stop going to practices, right? They'll stop going to
Yeah.
games. Some of
Hmm.
them even stop talking to the guys on the team,
Hmm.
right? I know that everybody has an interesting way of dealing with it, but my best advice would be, and I've been through some injury, you've been through some injury, right? How can you still add value to the team, right? Maybe you ask the coaching staff, can I sit in on some meetings, right? Can I be on the bench maybe? Like I
Yeah,
know in youth
especially for
hockey, they
youth
got some guys on the
hockey.
bench.
Yeah, for youth hockey, they will. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Those are two things that I think are kind of important. What would you say in terms of the immediate reaction?
So I think one of the hardest things with being injured is only you know how you feel. So some people are going to think that you're milking it or they don't understand your injury. Like I remember I had one on the side. It was actually in Springfield at the second year, my beginning of it. I got hit really hard in the side and I had this like intense pain there. But I got the feeling that like no one understood like what I was going through because I could like barely move, but it wasn't like it's not like a broken bone, right? So it's like it's kind of like this like are you really hurt? Like what's going on? So I think that's one thing that you're definitely gonna have to deal with is like you're gonna feel like people are doubting how injured you actually are, but you have to remember it's your body. You take the time to recover because at the end of the day, that's what's most important. When you rush things, that's when more problems occur. So take the time to get better and heal properly, because at the end of the day, that's going to benefit you in the long run versus trying to rush it so you don't look soft. Um,
Yeah.
I think is one of the biggest things. And then I think one of the other things you have to do, right? So now you have hockey taken away from you, maybe for the first time in your life you're dealing with an injury. So now this thing that you've worked, focus on every day is taken away from you. So now take that time that you're not, worried about it or stressed out or like working on your hockey skills, because you can't take that time to do other things that you like.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I think that's really good for your mental health, first of all, but then it also gives you a chance to get away from hockey and take a breather from that hockey situation and kind of find joy in other things or do things that you usually don't get to do at that time because of hockey.
Yeah,
I don't have any
absolutely.
specific examples of something or on something that I would do if I was injured, but I think you got to do things that you enjoy outside of hockey as well to kind of get your mind off of it. I think
Yeah, I
really
think
helps.
I really like what you said there about like kind of not when people are like, oh, like I don't know if you're injured or not. I think that when it comes to like internal injuries, like concussion,
Yeah, I was gonna say
uh,
concussions is a
I've
big one.
concussion's huge. I've seen a lot of like organ injuries in college, like whether it be appendix, spleen, stuff like that. Heart,
Mhm.
that was my own situation. I mean,
Yeah,
those are hard to deal with because if you have a cast, it's like, oh, that's why he's not playing. Like he's got a
yeah,
cast on.
yeah,
But if you're sitting in the stands, like enjoying your time, like supporting your teammates, people are like, well, is he scratched? Like, is he injured? Like, what's really going on here? And
yeah,
that's like that's hard to deal with as a player. I know I kind of went through that a bit, which I mean we could get into my story if you want to, but it's not a big deal. Um, but that those are important things to definitely to keep in consideration of. Right, injury is going to happen to everybody at any time.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree, and I think the toughest ones are w- to deal with those internal ones. Ones because there's like not a set date necessarily that you're going to be coming back. There's still
Yeah,
a lot of question marks with those type of injuries. Whereas like if you have a broken arm, for the most part, or like a collarbone or something, it's like okay, 8 weeks, then you can do this, then you can do that. When you have those type of injuries, you don't really know when it's going to heal or if it's going to heal or
yeah,
what the next steps are. So those can be super tough.
yeah,
Um, no, I want to get into your story, but I think we should save that where we can go like in deep
yeah,
on it. I have that
yeah.
written
We could do
down.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe next time we'll go because that could be a full 30 minutes.
we'll keep the listeners on their toes.
Yeah. So, all
They're
right.
like
So,
they're probably like googling like what the hell happened.
the Fletch.
No one told me podcast host.
I'm sure that's what they're all doing.
Yeah.
All right. So now, say you dealt with your injury, you healed up. Now you're getting back into practices, games. What is your advice for that
I think
once
that
you come
the
back?
I think that what's pretty important to recognize as a hockey player, right, is you don't really lose your feet, right? Like that quickly, right? You can in terms of like if you're off the ice for like a year, right? It may take a bit to kind of get the flow of things again. But if you're off the ice for like a month or so, like you'd be pretty shocked into like how quickly you're able to pick everything back up.
Hmm.
I think that things like passing and stick handling, those things are a little bit quicker to lose, right? But your skating necessarily is not as quick in terms of it's going to take a while for you to really lose that.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say, right, in those first couple skates back, right, obviously you probably don't want to jump into full contact regardless of whatever the injury is, right? So take that kind of slow. And then I would say when it comes to skills, right, take some extra time post practice, pre practice, right? Double down on like timing in terms of passing, timings in terms of stick handling, right, receiving. But endless, I've seen this endless amount of times. So be say the kid, I don't know, has a broken collarbone. I know you said that earlier.
Hmm.
Their first practice back, they're like, "Hey, can you give me some one timers?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't. First of all, you don't take any one timers in the game. Second of all, what is it? Yeah, maybe it's gonna make you feel good, but let's maybe do some stick handling, do some basic passing, like try to get those fundamentals back."
I love when kids like at post practice they're taking one timers and like in the power play spot, like top of the circle, and they're like, no offense, like they're on the fourth line, like chip and chase guy. They haven't taken a
It's
one
like
timer in the
it's
first
like
4 years.
warm-ups.
Yeah.
Like in warm-ups. If you ever, I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
any
Yeah.
college
Yeah.
game, you got guys at the end of their on ice warm-ups before the game. everybody's taking one-timers. Like, buddy, you're not taking a single shot from there in the game.
Why don't after practice you focus on your breakout passes, like
Yeah.
something like that, not your one timer. But
Yeah.
anyway, I digress. What I'll say about this is, for the most part, like when you're coming back from injury, you're not going to have, this is generalizing, you're not going to have the confidence in your, whatever your injury was. So say it was like your ankle, right? Your confidence isn't necessarily going to be there for your skating, or whatever your injury is. So because you're going to be second guessing like how healed you actually are. So you're going to be guessing, second guessing that. And then your skills overall are going to be rusty. So you're not going to necessarily have the confidence in your skills too. So I think what you really need to focus on during practice, like actual during practice, and then in games as well, right when you're getting back from this injury, is you have to build your confidence from the ground up again. You're not going to be able to get out there and do what you were doing pre-injury. Like maybe that was the best you were playing all season. You got hurt. You're not going to be able to hop back into games and be at that level again. So you need to build your confidence from the ground up, and I think that comes with making simple plays over and over again, building that confidence in your skating, building, or whatever your injury is, like building your confidence in those areas, and then building your confidence like in your skills and playmaking ability. And I think that all starts with simplicity and getting reps in over and over on those simple things. And then from there, as you gain more confidence in whatever your injury was and your skills, you can start to build from there and get back to eventually where a place where you were previously. But it's not going to happen in one day or one game. It's going to take time, and you got to be patient with injuries. And I like what Fletcher said. Like, if you want to get back to where you were skill wise, stay out there after practice and work on some areas that need attention at that moment post injury. So that's a great time to kind of work on developing your skills, but during the practice, work on building your confidence, building back up on the basics.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit it all right on the spot there. I think at the end of the day, I guess the takeaways, if you're a listener, is one, right? It's going to take time. It's going
Yeah.
to take time. Two, right? Injury happens to everybody. And three, probably hold off on the one timers coming back from injury.
Just hold off on them in
Hold
general.
off. You're going to be okay,
Unless
man.
you play
Unless
that
you're
spot.
Ovechkin.
Yeah, play that spot in the power play. Maybe work on them. I could see that. But
Maybe.
maybe. I don't
Even
even know
then.
many. Yeah. I don't know. I took like total in college probably 3 one-timers.
I think
Missed the
one. I
net on
took
all
one.
3.
I
Missed the
took
net
one,
on
and I
all.
missed the net. I took one. I missed that.
I actually did score on one in Springfield. It was a nice one. But
There
that's
we
probably
go.
my only one-timer goal in my entire life, so I don't practice that.
Men's league. I got a couple in men's league.
You're taking one-timers in men's league? That is an ultimate
Whoa,
sin in men's
whoa,
league.
whoa,
That's
whoa,
a
whoa, whoa.
that's a
On
men's
a
league
rush. I'm
sin.
talking about on a
All right,
rush.
all right, all right.
I'm
I
not
thought
playing Ovechkin's spot on the
you're
keeper.
you're on the power play.
I do play that side on the men's league power play, but we'll get into that another day.
Do you rip one-timers?
No, I'm more of a facilitator.
All right, fair. All right, thank God. I might have to end the friendship if you were taking one-timers in men's league on the power play.
No, because we got good friendship questions coming at the end of this pod. Just
True.
better stick
I
around,
don't even know
listeners.
what they are. All right. So, moving on now. So, a lot of kids right now are finishing their seasons with their youth hockey team or whatnot. A lot of them are finishing their seasons and they're heading into the spring, March, April, May type time period here. Spring hockey or whatever, outside of spring hockey too. So, what do you think hockey players, primarily youth hockey players, it still applies for junior and college, but what do you think like kids should be focusing on in the springtime for hockey or life? Like either or, like it's not just hockey based.
I would say that when it comes to that period of maybe it's March to June, maybe even through the summer, to a certain extent, right? Part of me wants to say, right, ditch the skates, play another sport, do something different. The other part of me wants to say, right, if you are going to be on the ice, like let's get better from a skill standpoint, right? You don't need to be doing camps in terms of like this team's main camp, that team's main camp, this combine, that combine, this tournament, right? We don't need that. I think double down on your skill work, right? Get better because your in-season performance is what matters. For example, if I'm a highly scouted if I'm on a highly scouted U16 team, right, and I'm a random college, Fletcher and Jack's college sees you at the Boston
top school in
Breakdown.
top school in
Yeah,
the
see,
country.
yeah, top school in the country. Haircuts and swimming lessons. That's what we specialize in. Okay, so say Jack and Fletcher's college sees you at the Boston Breakdown Summer Bash, right? Likely you're not going to get a scholarship offer or a tender or this or that from that only, from those 4 games, right?
No.
Likely they're going to say, oh, all right, like I'm going to look at this kid come this season.
Yeah.
Right? And guess what? Those same coaches are going to be at your games throughout the year, right? And maybe they did see you there. Okay, that's a benefit. That's probably a pro, but likely, right? Let's double down on the skill development so that when they do come to see your regular season, you're the guy that sticks out and sticks out consistently, doing the right things on the ice.
Yeah, I totally agree. So one thing I'll say, so I want to talk on that point first, and then I want to talk about something else. But so I get this question quite a bit about, should I go to this camp, or I'm getting invites from these camps, should I go? So my initial yes and no. So the only benefit I think to going, if you're not drafted or tendered or have contact with the coaches prior to getting an email, is if you're maybe in that 16, 17 age range, I think if you just pick one of them that's in your area, so it's not like a huge time commitment or
expenses.
Lower your costs. But I think it's a good experience to go to one of those and get a feel for what it's like to walk into a locker room, or go through the whole check-in process, meet the coach, walk into the locker room with a random 19 guys, some of them who are 20 years old, see what that's like to be around these older kids and kids from different areas of the country, and then learn how to go out there and play with kids you've never played with before on a line, and feel that pressure of being watched by scouts and stuff, because that is a totally different ball game than when you're playing in your U16 season. So I think there's a benefit to going to like maybe one of those to get a feel for that. So when you do hopefully get drafted or tendered or something and you go to that tryout, you at least kind of know what to expect a little bit. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't go running around camp to camp trying to
camp hoppers. A lot of camp hoppers.
Trying to make a team, because that honestly, like, if you're not drafted or in contact with them or tendered, it's most likely not going to happen. You'd have to play unreal.
You would need to do something.
Yeah, but okay, so I touched on that. The other thing I want to touch on is for spring. I think it's very age dependent. So if you're a younger kid, say like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number like 13 and younger, so like 12, whatever. I really think you should play other sports in the spring. Yeah. And maybe it depends on like the spring programs around you, but maybe playing a tournament or two during the spring or spring/summer, just to stay, if you enjoy it, or, hang out, go with your buddies and play.
And you enjoy it, and maybe not. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's so important, especially at those ages, to play other sports, and kind of, it helps you so much with like your coordination, your decision making, like your mental health in terms of like not getting burnt out, having fun. I just think that there's so many benefits to playing other sports at that age. What do you think on that?
Yeah, it's a good point. I do agree with it, right? You think of some of the best athletes, like, I don't know, Michael Jordan
Mahomes,
played 2 sports, Patrick Mahomes. What's the guy on? No. What's the guy on the Cardinals? Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah, Kyler Murray's drafted in the MLB.
Drafted in, first round, I think.
Yeah.
And he's an NFL quarterback. Deion Sanders was both. A lot of NHL players are both. Not NHL players, but a lot of professional sports players.
I know a lot of hockey players who went on to be who are pretty successful in hockey right now, who played other sports, mainly baseball, like in the spring.
Yeah.
That they played a lot. Yeah,
in the spring. I think that's it. It's pretty important, right? You kind of get to know a different group of people, right? You kind of just get better. Like Jack said, your coordination, right? Your strength could get better. Your speed could get better. Also, and this could be a whole podcast within itself, but if you do end up choosing like a prep school route, you are playing 3 sports, like a fall sport, a winter sport, and a spring sport. So
you have
get good at you have to. Depending, I mean, unless your prep school, let's see, we can go for 30 minutes on this. Unless your prep school plays like a AAA schedule, you play 3 sports. So, I do think playing other sports is important, right? There's a little bit of fear of injury, But realistically, right, injury could happen anywhere. You could roll your ankle walking down the stairs today, like listening to
Yeah.
us talk about the Disney on NHL or something like that.
Well, especially at those younger ages, like those kids are like rubber bands. Like their injuries aren't like a 21-year-old going down with like an ACL type injury.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like those kids, they're like elastic at that point. So you kind of don't have to worry about that as much at the younger ages. But then I think once you do get to a older range, maybe like 13, 14, that's when I would maybe slow down a little bit on some other sports, maybe narrow down to 2 if the seasons work
yeah.
out.
Depending on how serious you are, yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, yeah, depending on how serious you are, and then maybe start focusing on hockey, really, like you said, training your skills, developing and stuff like that. So I think that's really age dependent.
That's a
Um,
good question. That's a good
Fletcher
question.
definitely did not play multiple sports growing up because
Oh my gosh.
he can't even throw a
Oh
ball or
my.
shoot a basketball.
That's so ridiculous.
It's
I would
so
dummy Jack.
embarrassing.
So
So
ridiculous.
embarrassing, and it
Me and Jack,
shows.
enough.
You know what the
Silence
funniest?
your
Okay,
mic.
hold on. You want to know the funniest thing is you can tell which kids like on your team who played multiple sports and who didn't just
Me
by the way
included.
they not playing sports. No,
Oh my god.
just by the way they'll like throw a ball or like play sewer. Like sewer's a good
Yeah.
indicator of that. Like you can
Which I
tell
was the
which
best
kids.
at. Okay, this is a quick little side story here. I know we've talked about it before, but me and Jack and a couple other guys used to play basketball at the YMCA. I was always a valuable asset to whatever team I was on.
Only
Probably the
strictly
top
effort
scorer.
based. Strictly
Yeah,
effort
effort
based.
based. I made up for it.
You are not
Elite
top scorer.
basketball
There's
player.
no
Elite
chance.
basketball player. Elite quarterback. Give me 3 months.
Oh
I'll
my.
be a starter on any team in any sport.
Do you
3 months.
all right,
3 months.
if I think do you think you could cover me if I ran a route?
Yes, it's ridiculous.
No way. I would
Jack,
cross you up at the
here's a
line
hot take.
so
Here's a
bad.
hot take. Three
Oh
months.
my
I
god.
give you 3 months, Jack. I
Okay.
say stop everything, stop working. I give you 3 months.
You gonna
You
pay me?
train, and I say, no, I'm not paying you. All right, you got to pay me for even dealing with you. Okay, so I give you 3 months. Can you play any sport in college if I give you 3 months to train starting today?
What division? Just in
Three
college?
or one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Confidently.
think
Confidently. The
that's what I
okay,
think
no,
too.
okay. The only no, I take that. The only sport I was gonna say that I think I would struggle at would be tennis.
See, I'd
But
be fine. I'd be okay
3
with tennis.
months, but now I'm getting really good at pickleball, so, like, it probably translates. So, if 3 months too, I think I
Here's
could. Yeah.
here's my biggest issue. Here's my biggest issue.
Definitely Division 3. Definitely Division
Here's
3
my
at this
issue.
point.
Here's my issue. I will not 3 months. I do not think I'm getting a hit in Division 1 or Division 3 baseball. I am run. I can run
Oh,
and I can
really?
catch the ball probably and like throw it
Yeah.
around, but I don't think I'm getting it. Like that's so hard.
I think you could hit a D3 ball. I think you could hit a D3 ball. They don't have that much
I don't know.
movement on the ball.
Some of them do. Dude.
Nah, some
Some
of
of them
them
rip that thing like 92 miles an hour.
nah, D3, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's probably some, but not many. Like, my roommate was gonna walk on the baseball team at
Yeah, I
school.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I really
That would be
think
hard.
what do you think would be your second best sport to, like, go whatever, do something in?
Mm, basketball, tennis, football, defense. Uh,
No, well, just pick one. I didn't ask for a bunch.
probably
Say one.
basketball. Probably basketball.
Oh
Wait, that
my
face.
god, dude, are you serious right now?
Probably or
Dude,
linebacker, football, nose
oh
tackle.
my have you ever played football? Have you ever played
Yes,
football growing up?
absolutely dummy you.
Dude, I used to play football growing up, man. I got a sick
Oh my
sense
gosh,
for
you're
football.
growing up. Please.
I think if I were to not go back, but it would either be I'd be a wide receiver or like a safety in football.
Or safety. That's a
I
lot of
would love
pressure at
that.
safety.
Yeah, it is, but I think I would have fun with that.
I like
Okay.
it.
All right, one more question here. We can get into it for like 5 minutes and then we'll
Yeah.
move on. This one shouldn't be too long. Okay. So 3v3 overtime. Give me your I love it. I love 3-on-3
It's
overtime.
great.
It's a thrill. It is so fun out there. Okay, so what do you want to so what are you looking for on 3-on-3? Give me the rundown of what you're doing out there, what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would say that the first time I played in a 3-on-3 was in junior, right? When they changed the
Yeah,
rule to three
that's
on three
probably
for.
right when they just introduced it.
Yeah, and it was exciting, right? But it was different, right? That you watch it now, it's strictly possession, right?
You
Like
have
you
to.
the blue lines are almost non-existent in terms of taking it outside the blue line, right? Throwing it
Yeah.
back to your goalie. I've seen
Roller hockey.
yeah. And when it first started, it was a little more like run and gun, but and I say it is still now, but I would say you need to be poised, right? Be aware of dumping the puck, right? I wouldn't do it at all. If anything, I would dump it back to my goalie.
No,
Like
do
you can't
not,
give up
never
position.
dump the puck. You cannot
You
give up the puck.
cannot give up
No.
possession. And I think that when it comes to playing with poise, right? That's knowing when to shoot, knowing when to get a whistle, knowing when to change. That is almost
Yeah,
in coaching 3-on-3 now, right? Because we had a couple overtimes this time, right? Changing is almost more important than having the puck, right? Like
yeah,
once that puck drops, it's 3-on-3, which means it's man on man. So
yep,
center needs to call out the center likely. The D needs to call out the winger needs to call out the D, and those are your guys. Right? There's no triangle, there's nothing like that. If your guy is behind one net, go gap up on him and go stand behind, like go there.
yeah,
And a lot of guys will just kind of wait and watch the crossing happen. And next thing you know, that it's a 3-on-1, and it's like, whoa, what just happened? Well, you have to have somebody. That it's one of the few
yeah,
situations in hockey, unless you're playing a man-on-man setup, to where you're actually man-on-man in terms of my D has it, and maybe I'm a D, and they've switched, and that's my guy. Cool, I could be the first forechecker here,
mhm,
right? So that
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
that's
that's
a fact.
important to recognize.
Yeah, I think on both sides, we kinda touched on it, but you gotta be patient on both sides, whether you're on offense, possessing the puck, being patient, not, like, forcing forcing yourself into bad spots or forcing the puck into areas that necessarily aren't open or lanes that aren't open. You gotta be patient with the puck. There's no need to try to force a pass and make a turnover. Utilize your teammates around you, run switches all over the ice. The more you can run switches and stuff and create screens for each other, the more you're gonna create open lanes for each other. Because, like you said, it's man on man. So if you create a pick for your teammate, he's most likely gonna have now an open lane to the net, maybe 2-on-1 going to the net. Um, so patience, and then defensively too, like be patient. Like you said, it's man on man, but if your guy doesn't have the puck, you don't necessarily need to be. It depends where the guy is, but like if he's up at the blue line area, you don't necessarily have to be glued on to him, chasing him at his hip the whole time. Yeah, you need to be within like a stick length, and but don't tire yourself out just chasing him around like a whatever, like a rabbit. So
Yeah,
that way, because a lot of guys will tire themselves out with the puck offensively, and then one turnover, now you guys got that guy who turned the puck over beat up the ice. Now you got a 2-on-1. So if you can be patient, I think is the biggest key offensively and defensively. And then yeah, it's all about being patient and then waiting for those opportunities for them to mess up or you make
yeah.
a good play defensively. Now you're going the other way. 2-on-1 most likely.
Yeah, in being patient, like Jack said, I want to go back and say something. I had mentioned dumping the puck, right? I had said not to dump the puck, and I'm saying that for the youth audience. It is very obvious, right? You don't want to dump the puck, but you never know. There could be a 13-year-old listening to us. And he's like, "Oh, coach said dump it. I'm gonna dump it." Right? So that was more tailored for the youth. Looking at an older group of kids now, right? And I guess younger too, right? In waiting and in being patient and defending, recognize, right? Recognition, right? It's man on man. It's man on man for them too. If
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy who's guarding me is on the offensive side, like I'm joining the rush every time. Right? Recognize odd man rush opportunities. Right?
Oh
That's
yeah.
part of being patient. Recognize who's on what side of the puck, who's defending me. If that guy's falling down, guess what? We have an odd man rush going another way. That's what makes three on
Yeah.
three so exciting.
That's one of like the one thing, especially when defending, if you see a turnover starting to happen, like for you guys are about to get the puck, beat your guy up the ice because, like you said, it's man on man. So if you can beat your guy up the ice, that's an automatic, pretty much odd man rush. So if
Yeah.
you can kind of anticipate those and obviously still be on the defensive side when they have the puck, don't like jump it too early. But if you see that starting to happen and you can read that and you can beat that guy up the ice, that was my bread and butter, was just trying to just bust ass up the
Just
ice
get
because I was
going.
like, because I knew I could beat most of the guys up the ice, like just if he was just in a foot race. So, I love that. And then I'm going for breakaways, obviously, all times.
Oh, that's awesome.
No,
That is
no,
awesome.
I'm not. Okay. So, yeah, 3 on 3s though, I love that they did that. It's so fun. It's like exhilarating going
It
out there
is
playing a
exciting. It's
3
fun to
on 3.
watch too. It's fun to watch. You could turn on two teams. I don't know. Two teams I don't really watch too often is like Ottawa. It's like I
Yeah,
could turn on Ottawa game. It's 3 on 3. Yeah, it's exciting.
it's awesome. I just love the pace of it and like the odd man rushes.
All right. Well, as we wrap up
Uh-oh.
the hockey talk for today, I have come across something on Twitter that I needed to test Jack out with, and that is from menshealth.com.
Ooh.
200 questions to ask your friend.
We're gonna
Jack
go
is
through
my
all
friend.
200. We're gonna go
No,
through
we're
all
going to
200.
go through the
Oh,
first five.
okay.
The first five, and I want honest answers here. So we're all about friendship, right? I've known Jack for a long time. These so far are some things that I don't know about you, so I'm excited to hear.
Ooh.
Good for the listeners.
Oh, wow.
Jack,
Okay.
question number one, 200 questions to ask your friend. Jack, who is your celebrity crush and why are you into them?
Ooh. My celebrity crush is Margot Robbie.
Mm. And for those listening,
Um,
you probably don't have to say why you're into her. I mean, you can if
uh,
you want to. She's
I
just such a
I
kind person.
she is. Her personality is fantastic. I love her accent. Um, and she's got blonde hair. She was also in Park City this past weekend at the ski resort I was skiing at.
With you and your girlfriend.
Yep, we were all holding hands as we went down.
That's awesome. I wish I was there.
We were on the ski lift together, all 3
I
of
could have
us.
been the plus one.
Oh, that'd be unreal.
There we
You
go.
think you would have no chance at. You think
What
you
do you
could
mean? I
with
would
her?
show her my basketball skills and you'd be like, she'd be wowed.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
Okay.
her.
All
That's
right. All
my
right. All right. Question number two. Question number two, Jack. What is your go to dance move?
Oh, wow.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
Like, all right, so my go-to one
You
right
have to
now,
show me too. You have to show me.
right now?
Yeah, we're
I
on
need a
YouTube too.
No, I'm not showing you.
All right.
Let me show
What's your
you it
go to
sitting
dance
down.
move?
All right, so this one's as of recent, like the last 3 months, I've really picked this one up, and I do it quite often around the house when I get excited, is I hit the gritty. I'm widowy gwittying
Oh,
all over the floor.
that's good.
Hey,
That's a
hey,
good one.
hey, hey,
Oh
hey,
my
ooh,
God. Don't
ooh.
do that. Don't do that,
I
please.
gritty, dude, all over the place.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
Okay.
love it. It's fun.
All right, here's a good one. Here's a good one. If you could change your name, what would you change it to?
Ooh. I don't know. I like my brother's name, Luke. I think I
It's a
would
good one. It's a safe choice.
I
It's a
like Luke.
safe choice.
Yeah.
It's a
Like
safe
or I'd
choice.
go like Leonidas.
What? Can we cut that?
Some Spartan name? I don't know.
We're not doing No One Told Me Jack, Leonidas, and
You
Flex. That
asked,
sounds
bro.
like a
You
mystery podcast, mythology or something.
asked.
Okay, here's
Probably
another one. Here's another one. If you could have a lifetime supply of anything, what would it be?
Chipotle. Easy.
I knew you were going to say that. I should have guessed.
Easily.
I'm going to start guessing
Easily.
some. I'm going to start guessing
Easy.
some.
If Chipotle's list, have you heard about these cards that they give out? They're like they usually give them out to famous people. They give them out to famous people. It's a card where it's like you can get a free meal for the rest of your life, one a day from Chipotle.
That'd
Now,
be
I don't know
nice.
why famous people need that considering they're loaded, but it's like a, marketing thing. But yeah. So if Chipotle's listening,
That's pretty good.
there we go.
Chipotle ad. That'd be nice. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Jack, if you could go to outer space, would you? Now don't answer. We're either gonna say yes or no on three. One, two, three. Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, I got a
Nice.
question for you. If you were going to outer space and you could only bring one thing from your apartment, what would it be?
I how long am I in outer space for?
We'll say 6 months.
Do I have a phone?
Mm, No cell,
Yeah,
no. Well, you have a phone, but
no cell
no,
service.
yeah, or
Maybe a
Wi-Fi.
journal. Maybe a journal.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like kind of keep track. Well, I listened to a really interesting Joe Rogan podcast of a guy who lived on the International Space Station for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And he said that he brought like a music, like a recording of like birds chirping and like the wind and like rain,
Oh, I
so
could
that
see
he
that
could
too.
like stay like like almost normal almost.
Yeah. Do you think that would make you normal, or like if you listen to it too much, it could like drive you insane?
All
Could
I
go
know is
either
that
way. Could
imagine,
go either
could you
way.
imagine being in space, looking out the window and just seeing like that's it.
It
That's it. It's forever.
space doesn't make sense. It literally goes on for infinity.
Yeah, I
Like
mean that's the
we
truth.
we are a little rock, and
We're very small.
it blows my mind every time I think about it. It's so crazy.
It
Okay, think
is.
about this. I think this is like Horton Hears a Who type thing, where it's like we could literally be like a little cell inside someone's ear, and that, you know what I mean? Like and then
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess. Yeah, I mean
like
we could be. It's unlikely, but yeah,
you never know. Like think about the cells in your body. Maybe we're one of those in someone way bigger than us's body. You don't know.
yeah, it's true. Okay, let's have one more to wrap it up. I'm gonna find a good one here. Uh, Here we go. Oh,
I
that's
bring
an
my
interesting one.
Xbox.
You bring your body. It's a good one. It's a fair one.
Like for
All right.
nighttime, I don't
Uh,
think I use it during the day.
this is a great one to end. This is a great
All
one
right.
to end. When you send somebody a meme, it's also referred to as a GIF or a GIF. What is the proper pronunciation?
Ooh. Is it a meme or a meme?
It's a meme. But
It's
is
a
it a
GIF.
GIF or it's
It's
a
a
GIF?
GIF.
It's a
It's a
GIF. I
GIF.
agree. I agree.
That just sounds wrong saying
I
a
wish I
GIF.
could. I wish I could have a GIF of you saying that your name was Leonidas.
What's wrong with that? Like
Leonidas?
Spartan talk.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's
Leonidas?
nothing
Ooh,
wrong with it. What
this
would you
is.
choose? Like if you were like a Spartan, what would your Spartan name be?
I
Fletcher.
was a Spartan.
Fletcher.
Flester. Fleber.
Flex.
The guys at school call me Fleber sometimes.
Fluster.
I don't know. What would be my name? Probably something like Maverick or something like that. I don't know.
Maverick?
That's a
That's
cool
not a
name.
smart name. What are we in, fighter jet?
Maverickitis. Maverickitis.
Oh my god, bro. You're
All
chirping
right. I
me.
think it's about time to wrap up episode 11 of the No One Told Me podcast. We covered some key things today in hockey development. We talked a little bit about dealing with an injury. We talked a little bit about what to do in the off season. We talked about how to play 3-on-3 overtime. And more importantly, we talked a little bit about Jack's Triathlon, my men's league, and we asked some interesting questions at the end.
True. Dude, we weren't recording this whole time. I'm just
Nice.
kidding. All
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
I
Take a
will
one.
talk to you later.
All right. I'll talk to you in a bit.
See you, buddy.
See ya.